Okay, today we are heading up to a new Forest Service road. It is in the northwest part of Georgia, just west of Calhoun, Georgia. And our first stop is going to be at the famous Buc-ee's gas station. Here there is a lot of gas pumps and all the beef jerky you can eat on the inside. So it's always a great place to stop by when you're heading through this part of town. This Forest Service road is about 3.5 miles long. It is one way in and one way out. It has an elevation change of about 500 feet. And most two-wheel drive cars could do this. You really don't need any high clearance or anything special. Okay, pro tip, either download an app that can be used offline or cache the maps to your phone so you can use them when you don't have cell phone signal. Though I did that on this trip, I still ran into a couple points where the roads had forks in them and I wasn't sure which way to go. I will point them out along the way. I just kept to the left and I want to get back to explore those other trails. I also ran into a runner up the road. I'll point her out to you, see if you recognize her. And I also ran into another vehicle coming up the trail as I was leaving and had to back up the trail just so I could get out of the way. There's not a lot of passing areas along this trail. Okay, here's the first fork in the road. It may be about a half mile up. As you can see, I wasn't sure and I was like, oh, I'm going to stay left. So I just kept going and didn't check the maps on this one. The majority of this trail is shaded and is a great summer or winter ride. The trail is very easy to do, as you can see. And then before I knew it, I came up to another fork in the road and I thought to myself, man, I did not think this had this many forks. I should have really studied the trail before. As you can see, I kept left just as my plan was to get to the top of the mountain. I promise you, I tell myself that I'm a good person at navigating roads and maps, and now I come up to a third fork in the road that I do not remember being on the map. So I make my left, and I'm like, I'm going to get to the top of this mountain. But first, I take a brief moment to stop, check the maps, and I can't honestly remember if my phone was working or not, but I was like, you know what? I've got gas. I'm going to keep going in this direction. So I just kept heading and hopefully going to get to the top of the mountain soon. What's that up there in the distance? Is that a runner on this Forest Service road? You always got to be aware and keep an eye out for walkers, hikers, runners, joggers, and other cars, of course. So I stopped and talked to her. Come to find out, she's my wife, Mary, and I dropped her off at the beginning of the trailhead. So I finally caught up to her, and she's going to finish jogging up to the rest of the way. I made sure she had enough water and that she's doing okay, and then sped up to get out of her way not to dust her with the trails of the Forerunner. If you'd like to follow along on more of my travels, please follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Tim the Trailman. As you're approaching the top, you come to a wide opening that has some great views and looks that you can see the surrounding area. The other thing is you can see here the trail is also degrading and not as well kept. And on top of that, there is some overgrowth that makes the trail narrow. And I know I came away with some fresh pinstriping on Roxanne, which frustrates me as I did not get out and open up the trail to make it wider for me to go through without scratching the car. Okay, here's the top of the mountain with a turnaround. It looks like you could do some camping here, and I deployed the drone to get you some epic views of the surrounding area as well. This is late summer, early fall, so I believe I could have a better view if some of the stuff was dead. But plenty of room. You could come up here probably with 4 to 6 rides and just enjoy it, have a lunch, a snack, camp like I said, and then just enjoy the afternoon. Overall, it took me about an hour to get to the top, and that was just taking it easy. This channel is supported by viewers like you, and if you'd like to support this channel too, please head on over to patreon.com/Tim the Trailman. Thanks for watching. Okay, if you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching the entire video. As mentioned in the opener, I wanted to show you my epic reversing skills as I backed up the trail in the narrow spot of the wide open path. This Jeep was coming forward. He did not seem to be interested in backing up himself, so as you can see I am going backwards through all the brush that I just scratched the car with going forward. Now I'm going backwards to an opening that I have no idea how far I have to go. This is real time. I have not sped it up or slowed it down, but I'm just backing up at a pace that I feel comfortable with. And this is real life when you're out on the trail. There are just some times that you will have to back up. Maybe sometimes the other person will be able to back up as well. I definitely have been able to go past people after they have backed up from me, so I am not the only one that's always backing up. I am just sad that I have to back up through all the brush that I just drove through, and I was hoping not to have to scratch the car any more than I already did. So it was great to talk to them at the end of it, and they were super nice people. Just hoping that I didn't have to run into any more people going down the trail.